What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title, I am going to be the voice for all men today who won't speak up and tell you the things that we cannot stand, okay? Before we get into it, please subscribe. Just click right here below. It'll really help me grow this channel. Show me some love. If you want to comment, like, and do whatever you got to do. I have a free ebook below that's 254 pages. Again, absolutely free. That tells you everything you need to know about men, the psychology, why men do the things they do, why they don't text back, and so on. But getting into the video, number one would be expectations. Sounds like common sense, but a lot of women don't understand the psychology behind the expectations and what they're expecting a man to do and his own doing, right? Like him wanting to do it himself. So when a man, does things like pay for the food, or when you go out on a date, or he buys flowers or surprises you, he does it out of a very genuine, authentic vibe, right? He does it because he wants to play the provider role. If you study evolution, of course, and our history, you know that women are look for providers, and guys have to court the woman to show that I am worthy enough to protect you. I am worthy enough to have the kids and grow, survive, and replicate and pass on our DNA, right? From an evolutionary standpoint. Now, when you start to expect certain things, especially in the beginning of a relationship, I feel that that becomes more of a chore to a guy, and it totally throws out the authentic vibe in that provider role that he's chasing. So when you start to do that, or you start to, there's nothing wrong with expecting something from a guy, but when you start to overdo it, or you start to be real like mean and stern with it, he'll start losing attraction and you will get rejected, okay? So that's number one. Number two is confidence. Going back to the whole evolutionary psychological aspect of it, and I think I said this in another video, that when you have a lack of confidence, the male brain the brain in general is very logical. It has to be, right? It has to be very point A, point B, black and white. Then kind of fill in the blanks in between. And when you're have a lack of confidence, let's say you're always crossing your body, your body language is very negative and closed off, you're always covering yourself up, or something along those lines, you're quiet, you're always to yourself. I'm very introverted, so I understand that, but it was just say you're naturally like kind of closed off all the time from a self-esteem point of view. What that does is tell the male mind, again, it's psychological, that there's something wrong, okay, that there's a risk, that you're a liability instead of an asset. And the reason for that is, again, very logical. There has to be a reason why you're that way. We're all born in this world with a very clean slate, okay, nothing wrong, blank canvas. And then there's things that go on in your life that make you that way. So you don't just wake up in the middle of the night or the next morning and you're just automatically negative, okay? So when a guy sees that, especially a guy who's all about progression, moving forward, accomplishing goals, getting shit done, and wanting to become something, or the best version of himself, just like all humans do, you don't want a woman who has that selfish, or not selfish, what am I saying selfish, but that lack of self-esteem or that confidence that may hold the guy back, because the guy doesn't want anything to do with that. Again, it's more of a risk, especially if you're looking at it from a psychological or evolutionary point of view, where you just want to survive and replicate. The goal of every organism, he wants to avoid that at all costs, okay? So that's number two. And finally, number three is drama. I know women think they're not, a lot of you probably think you're not dramatic, because I hear it from every other woman saying the reason I have more guy friends is because women, all they do is complain. Well, when you're with the guys, I see it all the time. They're still complaining. They're still bitching something. I'm not saying all women are like that, but from what I see from a lot of my friends I hang out with, from now since the beginning of fucking time, they're always complaining. And there's something I learned at a young age, and it was if someone comes up to you and they're complaining about someone, then it's most likely that they're doing the same thing about you, right? They're going to someone else and talking about you. And there's just no time. And again, when a guy, a real healthy ego male who has his life together, who wants to accomplish and move forward and do things and, again, become the best version of himself, he doesn't want to tie himself into that drama, into those kind of things. When a guy's looking for a woman, or what a guy looks for in a woman, is like an escape. Like, he wants to go to her and he wants to feel a certain way, do certain things and so forth. He kind of wants to escape work, reality, and all that bullshit that's going on in the world, the expectations from work, family, friends, and so on and so forth. Okay, society. And so he comes to a woman to, for more of an escapist or escapism, and to get away from all those things. But when you're sitting there and you're bitching about your work, I'm not saying all women do, but when you're there and you're complaining about your work or your friends or this or that or your sister or whatever, okay, the guy is just kind of bring the guy down. He's gonna be like, like, oh goodness, whatever. And again, it's gonna lower his attraction dramatically. So with that being said, there's the three things, okay? You have to stay away from the drama. You have to gain some confidence, and you have to, I want to say lower your expectations, but watch what you expect, okay? If you do those three things or eliminate those three things completely from your arsenal of relationships, you will have a lot more success. With that being said, I love you ladies. Again, check my, or subscribe if you haven't. Check out my free ebook below, 254 pages. I love you all. Peace.